Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and Exile Magpie.
Hello!
I want to say slow week, but it's a middling week.
It is the calm before the storm known as the
Game Awards.
Which is tomorrow as of this day we are recording.
Yes, so there you go. So next week we all know. Well, we know what we're going to be talking about next week.
The advertisements, the game advertisements.
The adverts. I've got my notepad and a pen.
Yes.
I'm going to write everything down. I'm going to try and be neat because last year we weren't very neat.
No.
And I couldn't read half the things that we wrote down.
The thing is, we don't even watch it live.
No.
So we could just pause it.
Yeah, we could, but we don't.
But we don't, because, we're the most professional professionals.
That's how it's done.
Yeah.
That's true journalism.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
compared to that Kotaku one last week.
I was about to say, game journalism is probably more accurate. Anyway.
Okay, so Twitch is shuttering its services in South Korea next year, claiming network fees are 10 times more expensive than in most other countries.
Kind of sucks for South Korean streamers.
Yeah, if you're in South Korea and you stream on Twitch, looks like you're moving to Kick.
Or YouTube.
Or YouTube. Yes, or YouTube. I keep forgetting YouTube does live streaming.
It does.
It does. I don't know why.
And to be honest, if YouTube actually decided to actually have a chat feature that was actually as good as Twitch, YouTube would probably smash Twitch's face in.
Oh, yeah.
Because, don't get me wrong, Twitch has done some new features like the alert system that they've added and a few other things that are pretty cool. But, Twitch goes on this roller coaster of doing some good things and doing some terrible things and doing some good things and doing some terrible things. I mean, YouTube's the same. It's just YouTube's a bigger site, so you don't hear about it as much. You just hear about the ridiculously good stuff and the ridiculously bad stuff in YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. So, in a blog post on its website, CEO Dan Clancy offered an explanation to the shutdown. Ultimately, the cost to operate Twitch in Korea is prohibitively expensive, and we have spent significant effort working to reduce these costs so that we could find a way for the Twitch business to remain in Korea. Clancy goes on to say that despite reducing maximum score quality to 720p and experimenting with a peer-to-peer model, our network fees in Korea are still 10 times more expensive than in most other countries. Twitch has been operating in Korea at a significant loss, and unfortunately there is no pathway forward for our business to run more sustainably in that country.
So, here's the thing though. Twitch is owned by who?
Amazon.
Pretty sure Amazon haven't made a loss.
Oh no, but
it's the whole thing of if this is making a loss, but it's still a demanded service, and other parts of that service elsewhere are making fuck tons of money, which I don't know if Twitch is, but again, they're owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
Not like they don't have the money to spare. You use the stuff that's doing extremely well to help fund the stuff that's not doing as well, but is still wanted. That's what's called providing a service. However, I can understand the whole point of, we're not just going to throw money into a black hole.
Yeah, I think that's the situation that we got here. It's more of a, it's not there isn't a demand, it's just the cost is just way too much.
So, here's the other question.
It doesn't really go into numbers. That's the problem.
Who owns the servers that they're using that's costing them so much? Because I know I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Twitch has this sort of stupid situation in certain countries where they use the servers that are owned by Amazon, who then charge them. It is literally Amazon charging themselves to use their own services.
Yes.
So I want to know the details. Not necessarily company blah 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 and owns this much and pays the staff this much and all that. I'm just who are you paying all this money to? And you're owned by Amazon.
So
Why don't you just get Amazon to?
we might have an answer here. The high fees come from South Korea's law that dictates content providers have to pay volume dependent fees in order to deliver their digital goodies through Korean internet service providers.
Okay. So
there's where the money's
going.
It's proven a hot topic in the country over the last few years, especially as it targets high bandwidth sites like Google and Netflix, with the latter previously embroiled in a lawsuit with one of South Korea's biggest providers over who should foot the bill. The introduction of the law saw Twitch trying to dampen those costs in recent months. November 2022 saw the site terminate its VOD service for South Korean creators, a decision that came 4 months after downgrading the streaming quality to 720p. Both moves proved controversial among both Korean and international viewers, with many expressing concern back then that it was the writing on the wall for the site's presence in South Korea. While Twitch doesn't appear to have been South Korea's largest gaming streaming site, it was certainly up there along with YouTube, gaming, and domestic sites Africa TV. Clancy claims that Twitch will assist Korean streamers in migrating their community to another streaming site, saying that Twitch is reaching out to several of these services to help with the transition and will communicate with impacted streamers as those discussions progress. So it's the law. It's the law. Wow.
Which I understand. I understand the basis behind it, but again, it's one of these where I'm like, if you look at Twitch as a whole, is the losses they're making in South Korea bigger than all the profits they're making elsewhere? If they're making profits, because social media, it's notorious for not running a profit.
Alright, that's true.
Just ask Facebook. Or even better, Twitter. No, I'm not calling it the letter
X.
No,
X.
Twitter. It's Twitter.
I'm calling it Twitter. It's just easier to call it Twitter. X just sounds weird. But anyway,
X makes me think I'm gonna go back to the 90s and all the edgy X-Men comics and all the spin-offs like X-Man and X-Force and all that sort of stuff. Maybe Elon Musk is just a secret X-Men fan.
Maybe.
That's why he likes the letter X so much. I don't know. Anyway, again,
it's not as simple as like just getting money from another part of your company.
It's
like it's not gonna. That's not gonna fix the problem.
No, it's not. It is a case of like, I understand the reasoning behind it. I can't be really too mad at Twitch to do this, even though Twitch is Twitch and sometimes their judgment is a little bit to be desired. I can understand the reasoning behind it because it's like I said a little bit, you don't want to be throwing your money into a black hole.
Yeah.
However, do I think they've tried every possible way of doing it except for making the service worse?
I think that's really the only thing that they've done is like downgraded their service in Korea so that they're not using
as much bandwidth, and it's like
and it's still not working.
And it's like, it'll be interesting to see if other streaming services do the same.
I don't think
if others do, then Twitch will be seen as
as
more like justifiable. But if Twitch is the only one that does this, then it'll look bad on them. Do you know what I mean? If YouTube takes the hit, if Kick and all the other streaming sites
won't take that.
I know, but if the other big streaming sites take the hit, the monetary hit to keep services in South Korea, and Twitch is the only one that doesn't, it makes Twitch look really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a sucky situation for South Korean fans and streamers fans of South Korean streamers, because this is a service that for no fault of their own, they're going to lose. Yay, modern technology. The modern world, isn't it great?
Anyway, it does generally suck.
Yeah, it does suck for the people that are basically being forced to move platforms.
Speaking about more things sucking, Sony!
Yes.
Here we go. Right, so Sony are deleting... hold on, I'll tell you what, I'll get a different one, because this one's a bit skew with.
Basically, Sony are removing a bunch of stuff from their streaming site.
Yeah, they're deleting... Right, so PlayStation is deleting TV shows players paid for thanks to Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Right, so if you...
So, I know it's not going to happen, but the people that paid for it should be refunded.
Yeah, they should be.
They should be refunded because they paid for full access to it and they're not getting it now.
Basically what's happened is it's Discovery and Warner Brothers.
Yeah, because
they're streaming things. They're coming off the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, because the licensing has run out and Sony's not renewing it, or Warner Brothers / Discovery are wanting a stupid amount of money or something. Either way, it's a stupid thing.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why physical media will always be needed.
So basically the PlayStation are deleting the games, which means if you've
Is it the
paid for them,
games?
not the games,
the series. I was going to say, if it was the games, there'd be a bigger uproar.
The movies, the TV shows, which means if you've bought them,
yeah, you're going to lose them.
You're going to lose them.
Now, could this be a situation like when Konami removed PT, where if it's already installed on your console,
it's not looking like it. It's not looking like that.
It would still be there unless you uninstall that and you wouldn't be able to get access to it.
No, I don't think it's looking like that.
That's
what it's looking like is like you
because it's streaming, not yeah. So you don't actually install it, which is buy physical. You won't have to deal with this shit if you buy physical.
While the promise of an all-digital streaming-based future felt like it had a lot of benefits, now it's starting to crumble a bit. And now
everyone wants a slice of the pie.
Yeah, one of the worst-case scenarios is happening over on PlayStation. Sony has announced that certain TV shows that players may have bought through PlayStation will be deleted from their libraries. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like, it's just going to be gone. Yeah. You can't do anything with it.
It's got to be gone. You say goodbye.
Anything on Discovery TV and Warner Brothers are stripping content and basically deleting from the surface. So you cannot buy in you can no longer get them from the store, but also if you've already bought them,
you've lost them.
You've lost them, which is just absolutely fucking
sucky.
I
would say that they should have, since it's not if the price. If the price of it was like the same price as going to see it in the movie, which it still is expensive, but it's not, $20. It's usually like $5 to $10.
Yeah.
Then you could have the argument of, well, they bought it to watch it and they've watched it, so.
Oh yeah, if it costs like a $5, yeah, I suppose.
There is that potential argument. I still think it's a dumb argument. However, most of these things are usually the same price as like the physical DVDs that or Blu-rays that you can get. So my argument to that is you're charging for something that if you bought the physical version, you would have it for as long as you wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to remove it from their library, then you need to fucking reimburse them because you did not give. I know people go on about, what were the terms and conditions? Yes, but when you set a certain price, there are certain expectations with that price embedded in it. If you charge the same amount as the actual Blu-ray does, the physical disc, I would expect to be able to use it just as much and often as regular as I want to, as if I bought the physical disc.
It wasn't like Netflix, whereas you're basically
paying a subscription.
You pay a subscription for access to Netflix's library.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like that. It was literally like you
actually bought the thing.
You bought the movie or you bought the TV show.
Yeah.
And then watched it. So you don't even have that to stand on.
Nope.
It's
like I say, I can understand the reason why they're basically the license for whatever reason has run out and it's not being renewed for whatever reason.
It's still bullshit.
It's bullshit. The thing is that you should reimburse the people that have paid that for those products.
Sorry, PlayStation should refund. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for.
And
refund.
And before anyone can come around and say, "Oh, but it'd be too hard to find out." No, it isn't, because it's on the fucking profile.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to go to the profile. This bought items A, B, and C. Yes, right. Refund them this, and this. It's not rocket science, people.
No. It's easy. But
this is not one of those things where we go, well, it can be probably harder than we probably expect. You know, it's not like programming an actual computer game. It is using the tools and systems that Sony use to make sure person A actually has bought item B. Except instead of so that they can just access the fucking material, they actually reimburse them for the material that they bought and now no longer have access to.
Yes. It would be really sucky if, like, oh yeah, by the way, you can't watch this movie, but you can. We're going to keep the logo there.
Oh,
you know, like how on PlayStation you've got like the things for the games.
Of the things, yeah.
And it's just so you've bought Star Trek, so it's the logo's there, but you just can't do anything with it.
Also, I'm not surprised Warner Brothers is involved in this because Warner Brothers is one of the worst fucking companies going. Yes, we're going to spend $50 million on a movie and then cancel it 2 days before launch so that we can have a tax rebate. Yep, they fucking did that.
Yeah, pretty much.
They did that, and that wasn't even Batgirl they did it to.
I know. Oh, yeah, it's a few hundred seasons of shows and thousands of episodes that have been taken off.
Buy physical, people.
So could you imagine, like, if you're halfway through a fucking show?
I know. This is why you buy physical.
Although, actually, I'm kind of used to it now because Netflix keeps fucking doing that to me.
This is why you buy physical.
Yeah.
Granted, sometimes we can't actually buy physical. Amazon.
Yeah, when's Demon Slayer Season 2 coming to the UK? Does anybody know? I keep getting...
Also, could we have recreators, please?
At some point,
physical.
That would
please.
be nice.
That'd be great. We would really like to be able to actually, you know, physically own discs of recreators. That'd be great. It'd be wonderful.
But yeah, this is like the big red flag.
Yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing you shove in front of everyone that goes, "Oh, digital's great. This is the future."
Which, by the way, with TV starting to do this, it's not going to be long till the game companies start doing this.
Well, we've already had instances, like I said, PT is one of them. Scott Pilgrim versus the World was released on the PlayStation 3 and was literally not able to get. I mean, granted, I still could play it because I still had it on my PS3, and I was never going to uninstall that boy. But yeah, like, and it's only just recently, like a couple of years ago, re-released because of the demand from the fan base. Because it's like, it's a great game. What the fucking hell? The reason why it got pulled? Fucking Ubisoft. We didn't think there'd be a need for a longer license, so we didn't decide to renew it either. So, yeah. Buy physical.
Yeah, buy physical.
Buy physical.
It's why I'm worried because there seems to be a big trend for at least the $60 games now, or the 60 quid, 70 quid games. Alan Wake.
Digital only.
Is digital only. What's the Like a Dragon Gaiden is digital only.
Yeah.
I'm not like... These are like 50, 60, 70 quid games.
Yeah.
And they're only digital.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Nope.
No, I'm not spending 70 quid on a game that you can just take away from me like that.
Yeah.
No. No. I know it'll be a little bit harder because most games is you actually install it onto your console or your PC.
It's why you can still get PT. You can still potentially get PT because some people kept it on. They just didn't uninstall it, and now those PS4s go for like.
Oh yeah, ridiculous amounts.
2-3 grand. Why? Because it has a demo of a game that will never exist.
Yep.
Hey, to be honest, if you go off like collector stuff, merchandise like movies and that's the thing that really bumps prices.
Yeah.
This was an item of a movie that was only trailered and never actually released. That adds about 3 zeros onto the price.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried with the going trend of digital.
Yeah.
But who knows?
And yet, Larian, Baldur's Gate 3 is getting a physical release.
Yes.
It was released digitally on...
the patch came out not that long ago as well. Patch 5.
Yeah.
A bunch of new stuff for Act 3 apparently.
Cool.
It was pretty cool.
I need to get back in it. I haven't found everyone yet. I need to find everyone.
Really?
Yeah, I know. To be honest, I haven't played it that much because other things keep going away.
That seems to be my problem.
But it is still like... It is the best game ever. This year. Easy.
It's the best game this year.
That's why I corrected it to this year.
Yeah.
Is it better than Elden Ring?
Oof. No.
I personally would say no, but I couldn't argue against people who say yes.
Yeah, if somebody was like, "Oh yeah, it's better than Elden Ring," I haven't got like an argument to them. But me personally, no.
Yeah, it's down to personal preference.
Yeah,
it's not like the argument of this year of is Baldur's Gate 3 better than Starfield? Yes, categorically yes. It is an actual fact of life that Baldur's Gate 3 is a better game than Starfield.
Okay. Speaking of Starfield, Bethesda, what are you doing?
Someone was really upset that the game they so wonderfully marketed, because I don't believe the actual game developers were actually responding to this. I think it's someone in the marketing department.
It's somebody who works for Bethesda.
Really got salty about people giving legitimate and correct critique and complaints of their game. So I'll let you start.
The weird thing is, right, it's not even like the criticisms that they're coming out, like they're coming back against. It's not like somebody's going around saying, "Oh, the game's absolutely shit because of this, that."
No, they're just like coming out. Like I'm saying, legitimate criticism.
Yeah, somebody's just going, "Well, the game, it gets boring after a while."
Like, backstories have very little impact in the game. To which their response was, "Well, have you tried picking the opposite traits?"
Yes.
Are you fucking? Are you dumb? Do you not read what we just put? So you want us to go through to New Game Plus, and then pick other opposite things to compare it? I'm confused. What is wrong with you?
So, just over a week ago, I talked about how Starfield was getting a beating on Steam from where I'm sitting. It's just a result of hype, not meeting expectations. It's a decent game. It's just that decent is a huge problem when we were all strapped in for the next big Bethesda game. Yes, you see, here's the problem. Microsoft really overhyped this game. Coming out and saying things like this is the most important RPG of the decade
in the same year that Baldur's Gate 3 was released
is probably the stupidest thing you could have done.
There was called Read the Room. Know the situation. Again, do you know how all this boils down to not understanding the market they're in?
One thing that generally bothered me, however, was seeing a Bethesda developer responding to some of those negative reviews in a half-hearted attempt at damage control. It's not inherently bad for a developer to respond to criticism. Maybe not advisable, but not unheard of, especially if it's taking fair critiques into account. But that's not what happened here. As pointed out by Twitter user Juicehead, Bethesda is entrenched in a long spree of no-ers on Steam. For some reason, the latest bout of developer replies having taken place yesterday, November 27th, none of these recent replies, which I counted at least 10 of, even come close to acknowledging the game has some issues. Most use the same paragraph or two to target various criticisms. For example, you can take time to explore various planets for resources and items. You can also break the law by smuggling and selling contraband. Build your own outposts and starships and customize them to your enjoyment. Exploration and role-playing. There are many things to do and explore. One of these is from a review that just said midfield, which feels like the equivalent of firing off a pre-written takedown to someone calling you cringe on main.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing.
So the thing, because I've seen some of these and seen some of the responses as well. So Starfield is not a bad game. It's not.
It's boring.
I have real personal gripes with it, which is why I've probably stopped playing it for a little bit. I'm waiting for mods. I'm basically waiting for mods to make the game fun for me.
Yeah, speaking of which, as Phil Spencer's come out and said he wants Starfield to be Skyrim, have the longevity of Skyrim.
It can do.
You can do, but it's going to be the thing is, right, look, and this is where my personal problem with Bethesda comes
yes,
in.
They should not be relying on the modding community to save their game.
Yeah, you should not. If you want a game to last that long, right, you should not be relying on other people to do it for you for fucking free. Yeah. It's your job to make a good game. It's your job to make sure that game works, and it's your job to make sure that if you want it to last 10 years, that it lasts 10 years.
So, perfect example of this of not having a lifespan, but because of the game's how good the game is, and then that lifespan being extended by mods, is XCOM.
Yeah.
XCOM 2 is an amazing game, strategy game for those who like that sort of thing. Is if you're frustrating as hell, fuck yeah, 80% chance to hit, will always miss. And then the modding community comes in and goes like, and then it allows people to fine tune an already good game into the best experience for them. For example, if you are frustrated with only allowing 6 squad members to go out on a mission, there were mods to bump it up to
like 8.
10 even.
Ooh, 10.
Then there's the whole mod. There's the whole game overhaul mods like Long War 2, which completely changes almost. It keeps the core mechanics the same, but it changes like everything else. So like you're not gaining alien corpses for missions. There are specific things because it takes into account that you're on a resistance. You ain't got time to pick up bloody alien dead bodies and take them back to your home base. You ain't got time for that. You have to get in, do the mission, and get the fuck out. But it adds a whole bunch of other mechanics in. That adds extra depth and extra difficulty and all that sort of stuff. Skyrim though is also another game where it has enough in it as a good game.
Yeah.
Where the modding community adds longevity because it's a good game, not make it a good game to add that longevity. Starfield has some key issues in it. Personally, persuasion doesn't make any sense to me. The persuasion mechanic is like you get a bunch of text to pick, and they get given a difficulty rating. The higher the rating, so it goes green, orange, red. Now you think green easier to pass, but you don't get as many because you've got to hit so many you've got to hit so many bars.
Yeah,
and that's more difficult the more bars you can get. You would think the greens would be easier to do, but you obviously have to do more to do it. And the red is more difficult, but high, so higher risk reward.
Yeah.
I've passed more reds than greens. I don't know why, and I don't know why. That's the thing. It just doesn't tell you, like how in Fallout games it would give like percentage of like this is how difficult this is. This like it's 80%. You should pass it, but there's a chance you could fuck it up. Or 1%. You ain't got a cat's chance in fucking hell of passing this, but you may have rolled a 6.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday.
You may have got a nat 20.
You may have got a nat 20 on a Tuesday when it's a blue moon and a guy called Harold has said hi to you.
Yeah.
Right? That sort of thing. There's no indication on what's the chance of actually passing, which phrase will pass or which ones will fail. And it just ends up as a trial, like reload, try again, trial and error, which is not fun. Right? Second complaint. Space combat is boring, dull, stupid, and just is basically ships flying towards each other. That's it. That is literally it. I try and get on the tail of a ship and they just boost away and then turn around and just shoot. Now look, I'm not expecting the AI of Starfield to have like Star Wars Squadrons level of like space combat, or even Colony Wars level of space combat. I'm not expecting that, but I would expect a little bit more than just fly towards each other and shooting at each other, and whoever has the better shield or weapons will win. It's not fun. And then we have traversal. The jetpack is a terrible way of traversal. There's a reason why No Man's Sky 1 in the game started you, once you actually got it fixed, with a ship that could traverse the planet. And 2, one of the first things they added after they fixed all the problems was vehicle creation. There's a reason for that, because it makes traversal better, faster. Like, you will spawn on a planet and there will be nothing around you for miles. and you've got to walk. And I'm like, and if it was populated better, I would probably go, okay. But Bethesda, like, it suffers from that. Its map is terrible.
But you're forgetting it's thousands and thousands of worlds.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's not even my complaint. My complaint is like,
oh no! I know it's not your complaint, but that's my answer. That's Bethesda's answer.
That is Bethesda's answer. It's got thousands of worlds. It is, as some people have said, as wide as the ocean, as deep as a puddle.
Oh yeah.
Which is a shame, because there are the parts that have like, you can tell like that have had side missions put in and all that. You can tell the effort's been put in, but everything around it is just nothing.
It's just there.
It's just there, and I don't think they understand that a space exploration game needs to have space exploration entertaining.
This is the same company that made Fallout 76, remember?
That is very true.
We're going to give you this big open world with nothing to do in it.
We're going to call it Fallout 76, but it'll have absolutely none of the things people enjoy about Fallout Series 4.
Yeah, it's going to have
It's going to have no character interactions, no interactive NPCs. It's going to have an absolutely stupid storyline where the monsters and the final boss are literally reskinned Skyrim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dragons. Oh dear me!
I love it. It's perfect. It's perfect.
And speaking of Sky, like the leveling system is not great either. It's like
I just like the fact that like people are just coming up with like legitimate criticisms of the game. My criticisms of the game are not legitimate. My criticisms of Starfield are: I told you it was going to be boring. I told you the planets were going to be crap and they were just going to have trees in the middle of fucking nowhere. I told you that the space exploration was going to be boring. I told you this was going to happen. I told you the faces of the people were going to look like fucking monsters. And did anybody listen to me? No.
Yeah.
No.
You just have your criticism is I told you so.
I told you so. Yeah, I told you because it's Bethesda. Because Todd Howard said all this stuff, and I told you not to listen to Todd Howard.
But there's some things that it does really well. The spaceship customization and creation is really good.
I mean, the only thing they showed off when they were like, "Here's our big look at Starfield."
And like I said, the planets, like the actual settlements, which have been like handcrafted, they are really well done. But like I say, everything about, and it's supposed to be a space exploration game, and it's like, oh, why? And again, a lot of these problems would be solved if you could have a vehicle to travel the hundreds of meters.
You don't have to worry about it because a mod will come along and put a vehicle in the game.
I know. But the problem is like what I've said are legitimate and understandable criticisms.
And their answer to it is no.
Their response.
You're wrong.
Like I've said, some people have said like the backstories that they put in have very little impact on.
Yeah, they're basically I remember reading one and basically saying that older Bethesda games, you were a character in this world and what you did mattered.
Yeah.
And whereas in this game, you could do anything and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't feel.
It doesn't feel like a Bethesda game.
The world of the galaxy of Starfield doesn't feel alive.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it reacts to you, which, in a sense, in a space exploration game, is kind of understandable because the galaxy is that big. You are tiny in it. It will not care about you. I understand that, but this is a game.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be entertaining and fun, and it's.
And also, you've got the tag Bethesda.
Yeah.
You've got a fucking standard. And a thing that people expect.
Yes. I think a lot of people are looking at Skyrim and pre-Skyrim and not post-Skyrim Bethesda when they go on about this.
I know.
I mean, granted, Xbox and Bethesda don't help themselves when they hype Starfield up as the most important RPG of our generation.
Imagine that. You're there, you're selling your thing, and this is what you give. It's like saying, "Oh, I'm making
That's like Ford coming out and going, "We're going to make the most important car ever made."
And the Ford Focus comes.
And then the Ford Focus comes. No. A Ford Mondeo.
Yeah, Ford Mondeo comes out.
Ford Mondeo comes out.
It's just a Ford Mondeo, right?
Well, Ferrari we're going to revolutionise the sports car.
I think
and then coming out with Alfa Romeo. Like, well, it's like, well, it's still okay, but it's not what you promised us.
Yeah. I think this is an example of Bethesda maybe drinking far too much of the Kool-Aid.
Yes. And also like we said when it was launched, it's a playable game. It's not an absolute mess of bugs, glitches, and everything. Even though I've run across a couple, they're not game.
But it's not game. It's not like
they're back to the bugs that are really okay, that's funny.
It's either it's funny or it's a little bit annoying, but it doesn't kill your game off.
No.
Not like Skyrim where I fell into water and it completely crashed the game. And it just so happens that you're stuck in a tomb and you can't go backwards, so you are now stuck.
You are now hard locked.
Yeah, you are blocked. You cannot do anything.
You have to literally restart the game. Congratulations.
At least it hasn't got anything of those in. Be happy with that. But at the same time, if you're Bethesda and people are coming up with legitimate criticisms, hence your game is just, it's not fun for very long.
There are certain aspects of the game that are very, very underwhelming.
And so, for you to come along and basically just be like, no, you're wrong. It's like, come on, mate. just be like, well, yeah, we're trying. Look, we know there's going to be DLC for it.
Yeah, it's like, take those criticisms and go, okay, so people like this, but they don't like this. Let's fix this. Let's add stuff to make this better, instead of which behind the scenes, unlikely, but they might be doing that.
Yeah.
But you don't go to the person that complained about their backstory not having any impact on their conversations and go, well, why don't you choose the opposites? That's not the fucking point. They made that character's backstory because it was the type of character they wanted to play for this run.
It just feels like a petulant little child.
Yeah, that's being told they're
told that their version of this isn't as good as that. Isn't as good. And it's just like, no, it is good. You know, it's like, for fuck's sake.
I think the thing that spoiled it for me is like the space combat. I didn't expect the space combat to be revolutionary or anything, but it is so dull. It's like, it is literally the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker space battles.
You know what? Like, Starfield looks to me, it just looks like Rage 2. Like, I'm not joking. Like, to me, it just looks like Rage 2. It's like, it promises everything. Everything looks fine. It looks like, but the minute you start playing it, you realise, oh shit, this is all it is.
Yeah.
Fuck.
and in older Bethesda games, at least you had the story to pull you through, and the main quest line is just a fetch quest.
You had your like your
it is
sub quests.
Yeah, the
side quests.
The side quests are actually not that bad. The Terramorph campaign that I've been going through is actually quite interesting, because it basically plays off the fact that, yeah, by the way, no one here is actually good. The UC, yeah, they made bioweapons, and they got their asses kicked in the last war, but they want to, like America, want to spin that as they didn't actually get beat. They had to, so in the lore, the two main factions are the UC and the is it the Free States, free colonies?
Free colonies.
The Free Colonies.
Right.
So the last war was mainly between those. And the Free Colonies led the UC fleet into a trap and basically destroyed them. There was literally nothing left of them. Right? So the UC had to, when you're in this massive space war and you no longer have a space fleet, that's a good idea. That's a good indicator that you really need to sue for peace.
Yes.
Usually. That's usually a good idea. But obviously, being the UC and being, the type of nation the UC are, they have to spin that as like, well, we didn't really get beat, and we're great anyway.
Yeah.
But if you read between the lines, it's like, yeah, you got your asses kicked, and you had to, humbly go, can we stop fighting now, please? Anyway. But like, neither side, it was a war. Neither side did good things.
Yeah.
And I do like that. Like, the UC are not this shining.
Yeah, they're not the Brotherhood of Steel.
They're not the Brotherhood of... Well, even the Brotherhood of Steel have a bit of a... It's not like the Minutemen.
Yeah.
In Fallout 4, like, who are just like, oh yeah, we're the Minutemen, we're great.
We're good.
We're all Boy Scouts and we do nothing good. Nothing bad, sorry.
We're all Boy Scouts and we do nothing good.
We do nothing bad.
We murder everybody.
We do nothing bad. It harks more to like New Vegas, where all the factions have their own agendas and that sort of thing, and then there's no outright good side.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Anyway, that's the thing. It's like the lore that they've put in is actually kind of good in Starfield, but the main quest line at the moment is literally just go here, pick this up. 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 And I'm like, I know I mentioned Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker before, but like, this is just a giant fucking fetch quest.
Are you going to get the MacGuffin to do the MacGuffin?
I mean, at the moment, it's just one MacGuffin, but it's multiple pieces of a single MacGuffin.
Oh, so it's multiple MacGuffins.
Yes.
Which becomes the ultimate MacGuffin.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
That sounds...
It's why I've hardly done it.
It sounds wonderful.
I know. It's why I hardly touch it. It's like I get more interested in the other side. And I know, Bethesda's side quests usually are better, but like usually the main quest line still has some sort of interest.
Do you know what? Like that ran out for me. The whole Bethesda's main quest was usually quite good. That ran out after Oblivion. Skyrim came out, and that main storyline is just absolute fucking dull. It's just like, oh, go talk to this person. Oh, okay. And now go talk to this person. Oh, fucking. Now go talk to this person. Right, okay, so where's this person? Oh, he's on the other side of the fucking map. What?
Oh, by the way, this giant dragon attacked you, so you have to kill it.
Yeah, you have to kill this.
Oh, you killed this dragon? Right, go talk to this person.
Go talk to that guy. Why?
Go talk to... Go... Oh, you want to...
Now climb this mountain to talk to some random druid for no reason. Like, that was the bit where I just stopped playing Skyrim. I got to the top of the mountain. I talked to a druid. And you know what he told me?
Yeah.
I had to go talk to Jarl, what's-his-face, who was back down at the bottom of the fucking mountain. I was like, are you fucking shitting me? I have just spent 30 minutes climbing this goddamn mountain, dealing with stupid dragons.
Go talk to a person who was literally standing next to the person who just previously talked to me.
Yeah, and he's just like...
The problem with Skyrim at the time was, for you, there was no Dark Brotherhood quest to actually, distract you. That was another thing that you really were upset about.
No, the Dark Brotherhood was in Skyrim. The Dark Brotherhood wasn't in the online, Elder Scrolls Online, which is why I'd never touched it until they added it.
Yeah, no, wasn't there a DLC that added the Dark Brotherhood?
Oh, actually, no, you might be right. It was like the Vampire Werewolf DLC, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when I started playing it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't touch it until then, and then I started playing the thing. The actual DLC storyline is better than the main storyline.
No, the side quests are usually much better than the main quest line.
It's just like I got to the top of the mountain, and that guy told me to go back down, and I was just like, no.
But anyway, Starfield.
Good day, sir. But yeah, it's like Fallout 4 is exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
Go here to talk to this robot. Okay, now go talk to this super mutant. Okay, now go talk to this ghoul. Okay, now go talk to this person. Oh, by the way, your camp's being attacked. Okay, now go talk to that Minuteman. Your camp's being attacked. Okay, now go your camp's being attacked. It's like, fuck off. Just stop it. It's all Bethesda games are now. Are just like, just random bits. And here's the thing. They just go, oh, well, this main storyline, this will help. It'll have something to do with a threat to the world, or something. It fucking isn't. It isn't. Like Fallout 4, you get to the thing, you find out it's your fucking son. Spoilers, by the way, and then you're just like, really? That's it?
Yeah, and then you got to decide which faction wins the inevitable conflict that's going to arise. And I'm like, I don't give a. I think, but at this point, I stopped at that point because what my character wanted, what I wanted my character to say, which was basically, I have no son, because, spoilers again, your son is actually the leader of one of the factions that, you've been potentially fighting.
Yeah, the entire time.
The entire time up to this point, right? You've been fighting them, and then he turns around and goes, oh, I want you to help us. And I'm like, I'm the one responsible for everything that's going up in there, like the people being kidnapped and being replaced by replicants and all that. I'm responsible for that.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's all me.
I'm like, I want to respond in the whole thing of like, no, my son died with his mother. That's what I wanted. I wanted that whole thing because it was like, yeah, everything I've been doing, even though me gamer wise knew that my son wasn't going to be the baby that I saw, the child. I knew that. But then I didn't get the response that I wanted from my character.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Nah.
But it's just like...
I'm done. This is bullshit. This character literally, like, what I want, even the prompts, even out of the bullshit 4 prompts you get, the one that suits best, he doesn't even say what's there. Oh, but anyway, back to Starfield.
Back to Starfield.
It is not a bad game, but there are legitimate problems with that game. It's
a dull game.
It can be extremely dull.
It's a fun game.
It has issues. It has issues in traversal. It has issues in space. It has issues in regards to its map. You might as well not have one. It is by far the worst, because all it is a bunch of squares making shapes.
Yep.
And going from A to B is just so annoyingly dull. There's nothing interesting. You are just literally walking. Hell, at least in No Man's Sky, when you want to go to random point B, and you're for whatever reason your ship, you can't go by ship, walking there will always bump into something of interest. Something, either a massive pile of resources, an animal you haven't discovered before, a new biome on the planet. Something different happens. Something different, something you didn't expect, and something interesting usually.
Yeah.
None of that happens in Starfield. That's the thing. Like, the traversal wouldn't be boring if there were things that piqued your interest, but nothing does. It's just walking to the point of interest.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, that sounds like Bethesda as a whole. Let's just walk to a point.
It is, but here's the thing. In old Bethesda games...
Yeah, but we're not talking about old Bethesda games.
I know, but no, I'm on about, like, every single previous Bethesda game, right?
Oh, okay.
You had your compass. And on your compass would be point of interest appearing.
That's true, yeah.
If you went near it. If you hadn't discovered it, something would pop up on the compass saying, hey, there's an interesting point here. That's not there in Starfield.
Oh.
There is literally nothing.
So you just have to, like, wander around.
You just have to walk towards the point of interest that you see on your map that you've highlighted as I want to go over there. And you have to walk over there.
Lovely.
And there's nothing that comes in, like in a Fallout game or a Elder Scrolls game, you get told, oh, there's this point here.
Yeah.
And it's like 5-minute walk. You'll put it on the map as I want to go there. And so on your compass, it'll show us, like, just walk in this direction. You head off in that direction. And on your compass will appear something like, oh, there's something else here. Nothing.
Yeah.
Starfield has nothing. There is literally just...
That's because the maps are tiny, man.
The bits that were put in, and nothing else. And it is...
Thousands of worlds, mate. Thousands of worlds.
And like I say, if there was a faster mode of traversal, that would solve an awful lot of the problems with the ground bit. The space stuff, I don't know how you'd fix it.
You must be able to do something with the AI.
It'll probably...
I mean, it's not easy.
No.
I know that. I'm not being like... But, like, you must be able to do something with the AI. Like, add other ships. Maybe add another faction. This is all DLC talk, because let's be honest, none of this stuff's getting fixed before DLC.
No.
But, anyway, we shall move on, because...
The problem is also, I think, the ships you can build, they can't throw, like, fighters at you, basically.
Yeah.
They can't throw fighters at you because you would just not be able to actually defend yourself against
That's what I'm thinking, like, DLCs probably. Because, like, if we go off the thing for DLC, there's a ton of stuff that you could still do.
Yeah.
You could add fighters, and you could add the ability...
defense systems.
Yeah, you could add the ability to have fighters, to be able to fly a fighter, and stuff like that. So
maybe, but I don't know whether or not the game's got the modding community. It's going to be relying on the modding community for a while, and While I know the modding community will eventually come around and get.
Hey, you never know.
Cool
You may get like 72 different versions of Starfield. Sorry, I'm waiting for Skyrim to show up in Starfield. You can play.
I guarantee
Skyrim.
you, someone is probably already working on that.
You'll be able to play stuff at Skyrim.
You'll be able to land on Skyrim. You'll be able to land on what's the world called? Tamriel.
Tamriel, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be able to land on Tamriel.
Oh God.
I'm just waiting for people to start building stuff like Deep Space Nine and Star Trek Outposts and Star Wars Outposts and Imperial Outposts and Babylon 5 shits and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Bethesda, like, don't act like a petulant fucking child. Actually take the criticism and go and understand that it's coming from a place of people wanting the game to be better, because you promised the game was going to be better than it actually is.
But
moving on,
who knows? Like, I do want Starfield to get better. You know,
I do as well. Like I said, there was
actually no. You know what? No, that's a lie. I don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I don't care.
There was stuff in there that is a good game. It's just it is not the game. It is not the groundbreaking game, and I knew it wasn't going to be. But like, there's a lot of things that are just not bad, just disappointing. Yeah, if you know what I mean. That's the thing. It's not bad, but it is in a lot of people's expectations very disappointing.
Yeah. Oh well. Moving on. The GTA 6 trailer.
Yes, broke the internet and they got leaked.
Yeah, it got
Somebody risked their parents' job, basically, and showed it off on TikTok.
Yeah, which is the reason why we got the trailer
When we did, because Rockstar were like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, we might as well."
Most likely, this was originally going to be Game Awards.
Yeah,
most likely.
Considering how
close we are.
Yeah, this was going to be the Game Awards. This was going to be a revealed trailer for the Game Awards.
The 90-second teaser confirmed the game will be set in a Miami-inspired Vice City.
So we're going back to Vice City, which is good, because Vice City is still one of my favourite cities in the original.
It's my favourite GTA game. It's probably the last one I actually really played. Because I didn't really play San Andreas. I didn't play 4. I played a little bit of 5. But I was just like...
too much hassle.
Yeah, there's just too much going on. I just can't be bothered to just give me something... I just want something simple.
Yeah.
You know? I sound like I'm just complaining about games. I'm not. Like, I like a lot of random games, but there are some that I just feel are just like...
This is too much.
Like...
Also, like... Grand Theft Auto 5 and 4 and San Andreas were ridiculously big.
Yeah.
Each one bigger than I like. This is probably going to be stupidly big. I guarantee you it's probably the entire state of Florida.
Probably. It wouldn't put it past me.
It's probably the entire state of Florida. Even though it says it's Vice City, it's like, no, you'll have Vice City, then you'll have...
Yeah, oh yeah, you'll have the rest of it. Because five was California, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5 was basically California, even though it was San Andreas. Well, San Andreas, after GTA San Andreas, basically morphed from what was basically Los Angeles into California, because they had San Fierro and all the other stuff. So
yeah, this is most likely going to be Florida.
Yeah, it's going to be the entire state of Florida.
We are going to have a female protagonist, Lucia.
Yeah, cool.
I don't care. Good for you.
I think it's because it's the first female protagonist in the series.
The thing is, right, the problem I have with this, and it's not that it's that they do this sort of thing. It's like, oh my god, it's the first female protagonist. We've had female protagonists. I
know, but like
years and years and years.
It'll be the first female protagonist in a Grand Theft Auto game.
It doesn't matter.
Which is like, okay, fine, good. please make them a good character.
That's
all
like
I care
saying.
about.
That's basically like saying, this is the first skill inside of a Smarty tub.
I know, but no. The point I'm saying is that's why they're doing it. But I'm just like, just make her a good character. I don't care about if she's male or if they're male or female or what gender they claim to be. I'm not fussed. Just make them a good character and don't make her being female the defining trait.
Which, to be fair, Rockstar don't usually. Yeah, they usually do make good characters.
And to be honest, this is Rockstar, so they do have pretty much of a pedigree of like, their main protagonists usually are pretty good.
Yeah.
We don't don't count 3 because that was back when they just did silent protagonists, and it wasn't until
also that was like their first foray into 3D. And that's a lot of work.
Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 also had silent protagonists. It's just, it's top down and there wasn't any voice lines.
Yeah.
So, fine. That we're not pointing about, but like Tommy Vercetti, Carl Johnson, Nico, and
then the three.
The 3 in 5 are really good characters.
So I don't think you've got anything to worry about there.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people, because, they have to get angry at everything, are going, oh shit, Six is gonna be woke. It's like, for the love of fucking God, this is Grand Theft fucking Auto. It's gonna have genders, of course it is. Grand Theft Auto always does a social commentary of shit that's going on around that time. Of that it's set. And since GTA 5 was set in the modern day when it was released, it had the whole button stuff in there, and it's going to have a whole bunch of stuff that's been relevant in the mainstream when it gets released. Why? Because it's a fucking Grand Theft Auto game. The only one that didn't have like modern day things set in it was Vice City, and that's because it was set in the 80s. And it was an homage basically to Scarface.
San Andreas as well, because that was the 90s. I'm pretty sure that came out in the 2000s.
That's very true. But in other words, the time frame it's set, it has a whole bunch of stuff that was relevant to that time frame. 4, 5, and 6 are set modern day, so they're going to have stuff that are relevant when it's released. I'm just thinking these people that are going on about it are just doing it because they're just stuck. They're just stuck in this like stupid.
Oh, so they must have had another one, because Lucy is for the first time since the 1990s. I'm thinking it was
2
Grand Theft Auto London.
No, London was a gap. Then again, I think 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this could be wrong. It is the BBC.
True.
But the waiting isn't over, as the game isn't due to release until 2025. Yeah, that was a given. The latest main game in the series will be the sequel to 2013 hit smash GTA 5, which became the second best-selling video game of all time following Minecraft. There have been seemingly endless rumours and leaks for the past decade about GTA 6. The mere confirmation that a trailer was coming, an announcement of an announcement, if you will, was enough to spark global headlines in November, as desperate fans sought out any information about the new game. The trailer shows people racing cars, partying on boats, a man pulling an alligator out of a swimming pool. All the Americana sounds of love is a long road by Tom Petty. And then
I think the song that was played in the trailer has all of a sudden had a massive increase in use on.
Yeah, which is good, because Tom Petty's good. Everybody should listen to Tom Petty. He's good.
Yeah, he's great. So, first things first. Part of me understands people wanting to know stuff about Grand Theft Auto 6. Part of me does, because it's like, it is Grand Theft Auto. It's the series what it is.
It's the same like whenever Fortnite announced something, and it like goes all mental for a couple of days.
But the person who leaked it, I'm like, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Whoever you got that from is probably fired.
Probably.
If Rockstar ever find out. And somehow I think Rockstar may have methods of finding out. Like, I don't know, maybe embedding code or like, that's unique to each person that got that trailer.
That wouldn't surprise me.
But also, like, it is the most earliest of early days regarding the content.
Story.
The story. We don't, right, just because she's a protagonist doesn't mean she's the only protagonist. I mean, hell, they surprised everyone with the 3 protagonists in Rockstar 5, GTA 5. I mean, even though we figured it out, you know, it wasn't confirmed until much closer to launch. So it may be, because I know the trailer has her with someone else, and they're clearly a couple. Or at least it looks like they're a couple. They're partners, at least, in crime, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there seems to be more. They're more than just that from what I've seen. So it could be both of them.
It could
which
be.
Which is fine.
You could be choosing.
Yeah.
You could actually get a choice.
Yeah.
Either you're him or her.
A la Assassin's Creed, or they could go Spider-Man 2, and you can, and Grand Theft Auto 5, and you can choose which person to be at any point. But obviously, only certain people can do certain quests.
Yeah.
At certain points, sort of thing. So it is very early days. The biggest non-secret that they're going back to Vice City, which is like, well, they went to Liberty in 4, they went to San Andreas in 5, so clearly the last one off the list is
Vice City.
Yeah, unless they pulled an absolutely 100% slam dunk shocker and went, no, it's London actually.
No, Watch Dogs Legion has killed London. Like, you're not seeing.
Yeah, but that's Ubisoft.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was that bad. It's no gaming company's going to like, nah, we're not setting our game in London. Look at Watch Dogs Legion. Look what they did.
So we're not going to know. I think for those people who don't want to find out details, it's time to throw your head under a rock and pray to God no.
I don't think so. I think I think you're safe
but
for
also
another 6 months.
But also Rockstar, they're not going to be giving out too much information because they never do. They're just going to keep dropping the odd trailer every now and then from now till launch.
Yeah.
So for the next year, about once a month, maybe once every 2-3 months, we'll get something.
I think what might happen, I don't think this because this would be the first time that Rockstar did it, but like, you know, like with Cyberpunk, as the build up to when the game was getting released, we got those videos.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get that because I don't think Rockstar ever do that sort of thing.
That's why I'm saying it'll be surprised, but I think that's what we'll get if we get anything.
Yeah, I think they're just going to do the same as what they did with Grand Theft Auto 5, which is basically drip feed very little.
Yeah.
And just basically go, the game's, don't worry guys, the game's on track, it's fine, we're good.
We're okay.
Don't worry about
it. Yeah. But yeah, I think we can end it there.
Yeah.
Not much else to talk about.
No,
like I said, a middling week. Yeah,
it's been a slow week, but then again, this is the Game Awards, so any like announcements per se, they were going to be held till like Rockstar wouldn't even announce theirs because someone leaked it. It was clearly going to be like the main.
This was going to be a big.
This was going to be like the main.
Yeah, this was probably the one at the end before the last.
This was going to be like the Armored Core 6 of last year.
Yeah, probably.
Which I granted.
Jeff must be like, God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like I don't think there's this year for the Game Awards since it is literally tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get a massive, oh my god, like Armored Core 6.
Yeah.
Which, granted, that was only oh my god for certain communities.
We could get a Splinter Cell.
We're never going to. You see, the problem is that that's Ubisoft. No,
we're gonna get another trailer for the Star Wars game that they're coming out with.
Probably. But do you know what? Since I no longer have to keep screaming, can I have another Armored Core game? Dino Crisis.
Bloodborne.
You want to right? So you just keep going on about Bloodborne.
Bloodborne 2, please.
Bloodborne 2 or Bloodborne Remaster.
Yeah.
And I'll just go on about Dino Crisis Remaster, please.
Yeah.
Dino Crisis Remaster. I know, Capcom. I know in the Resident Evil timeline, we now go to Resident Evil. Well, no. We now go to Resident Evil 5, but Dino Crisis.
Well,
Dino Crisis deserves a remaster.
Yeah, it does. The next remaster for Resident Evil is probably going to be Code Veronica.
It should be Code Veronica.
It's probably going to be Code Veronica.
My worry is they're not going to. It's like they've almost forgotten Code Veronica.
They've come out and said there's a lot of remakes that they want to do.
Dino Crisis.
No, for Resident Evil.
I know for Resident Evil, but Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis.
Also, if it's Resident Evil, then Outbreak.
Outbreak, please. Yes.
Give us an Outbreak. We actually have the internet that actually supports it now. Please. We don't want multiplayer combat in a Resident Evil game. We want to be weak, terrible human beings trying to get the fuck out of Raccoon City.
Trying to get out of a city before it gets nuked. I mean,
that's what we want. That's what we want.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. I do hope you've enjoyed this video and this chat, and we'll see you in the next ones. Bye now.
Cheers.